In the world of photo editing, there has been a king that has stood on his throne for years. The software who dons that crown goes by the name of Adobe Photoshop. However, around 14 years ago, something was lurking in the shadows. There is someone who wants to wear that metaphorical crown of photo editing software. He looks around the corner with rage at the software that sits on his throne. The software has gathered up an ally and he is ready to strike. In a quick swipe, when Photoshop is not expecting it, he tries to overthrow the king. However, it was in vain. He is brought to the stands and tried for his treacherous activities against the king. He was promptly executed for his crimes. The king and the traitor's ally look upon the corpse of the software. He is buried, and a while longer his followers keep of their master's will. The will to edit photos. This software's name that was executed is ArcSoft Photo Studio, and this is a review of that software. For a short period of time, had a following and was relatively well known in the field of photo editing. The company was founded in 1994. They provided a wide range of products that gave their audiences an innovation spark to the field of photo editing and multimedia solutions. They offered a wide lineup of products that could be used for digital photos, music, and video editing. In short, they are a software development company that helps make and produce multimedia solutions for the future generations. One thing they state on their website is that the software comes with cameras or other multimedia solutions. This is where the software ArcSoft Photo Studio comes into play. ArcSoft marketed itself as an innovative step in the right direction of the multimedia landscape of tools and solutions. However, there is something that Adobe did not do while ArcSoft did, and that was produce its software with cameras and other multimedia tools. In this case, it was ArcSoft Photo Studio. ArcSoft Photo Studio was a competitor to Adobe Photoshop. At the time of its initial release, it was competing with the Photoshop currently at that time. They both roughly had the same set of tools. Upon loading up the software, you will see this screen. It could either be blank or have a white box in the center. The software can also be opened by clicking on a picture and opening it like that, or a picture can be opened through the software. As for the tools, they are somewhat lacking compared to the modern day Photoshop. However, that was because digital drawing at the time was not really well known, or at least not really well used compared to now. At the current time, Photoshop and ArcSoft Photo Studio was mainly used for simply editing pictures. Each tool had a specific task, which was either filling in pixels of a certain color or the smoothing of layers. Now, if you're an avid Photoshop user, you may be wondering, oh, these tools are not well advanced. Photo Studio doesn't need that. Photo Studio has all the intended tools for the audience that was currently at that time. Even though Photoshop has a wider range of tools, Photo Studio has something Photoshop does not. Photo Studio has an easy entry point for its new users. Photoshop can be a little confusing for its new users. I found ArcSoft Photo Studio was not. It is obvious that Photoshop still currently holds the throne of photo editing software, but that throne still could have a contender that is wanting to overthrow it, but it was sadly struck down many years ago. Photo Studio, in short, is software that allows for the manipulation of photos. Now, it does not have all the bells and whistles in which the king has, like the fancy AI software, but at the time of its release, it was not really thought of. AI, at the time of which ArcSoft's Photo Studio was released, AI was thought of only to be a science fiction concept that is not used in the photo editing software now. So due to the fact that computers are getting newer and newer, and Photoshop keeps getting more and more updates, ArcSoft Photo Studio was sadly left behind. One good thing that ArcSoft does have is its price. Photoshop can be around $20 for its monthly memberships and $238 for its yearly membership. Well, if you want that whole pack that Adobe provides, that's just around $600 a year. ArcSoft, on the other hand, offers a little something different. At the time of ArcSoft's original release, it was either offered with cameras or just a plain $80 for a one-time purchase. No membership fees, no nothing. A one-time purchase. Now, some people may be like, that's still really expensive. However, you can find ArcSoft in numerous places for free and then buy the plans later. They give you a free trial version like other software companies. Or you can find the disc online through eBay or other means and get that software that way. Another reason a person may want ArcSoft Photo Studio versus Photoshop is that if your computer's a little older and you can't really run the newer Photoshops, ArcSoft Photo Studio is there for you. If you want a software that is merely adding images together, such as removing of a family member through a family picture, or adding another family member back in, adding a pet back in the family picture, adding images together, erasing certain parts, ArcSoft Photo Studio offers all that. Now for my personal thoughts. I use ArcSoft Photo Studio for all my thumbnails. I don't have the money to spend it on Photoshop, nor the willpower and knowledge to relearn and use Photoshop. I give Photoshop is the way more advanced software. I do give it that. However, ArcSoft to me was always offered free because I had the disc laying around. And for the simple needing of adding memes into my thumbnails or adding my face into thumbnails, ArcSoft Photo Studio is there for me. So that is why I give Photo Studio a solid 4 out of 5. It is good for everything that I need to do, just doesn't have all the bells and whistles that Photoshop currently has. Is there better software? Possibly. Am I going to use it? Nope. Because ArcSoft Photo Studio has exactly everything I need for my use of photo editing software. Thank you.